Charlie, this one you're saying me.
Good evening. Nice to see you all here. And Vaishnavi, I have to thank you because you set a trend for what I'm going to speak now. A lot of creativity and a lot of mindset that you taught. So thank you for that. So creativity and change was a very difficult topic that was given to me when I got it. Now I don't find it difficult. I've worked on it for quite some time. And we have heard a lot about change being the only constant. So I'm not going to use those cliches, but we all know that, right? What we are going to talk about and what I'm going to introduce you today is how can we bring in more creative thinking in ourselves, and how can that lead to some changes we bring in the way we live, the way we think, and the way we reach out to the world across. So, yes, creativity and change. And can I have the slides? So before I start up, I wanted to tell a story about a person who is the face of change. Are you the face of change? You don't know, right? So by the end of what I'm going to speak, we'll figure out if we are the face of change and what we need to do to become the face of change. But here I would like to talk about this very interesting thing. And the story is, say about, I don't know, about 10, 12,000 years old. So when we had just, as a human being, human race, moving from nomads to becoming settlers. And there was a small little community. I'm just calling him a king, but he was the leader of that particular community. So he was very finicky about cleanliness, and he needed everything to be spick and span and clean and no dust in his house and all. But being a leader of the community, he would also go out farms, and his legs and feet would get very dirty. And that is something that he did not like. And then when monsoon came, it would get still dirtier. So he gave a command to his entire population of people who were a part of that settlement that do something, but I do not want dust to touch my feet. Now, this is the time, long back when, wheels and fire and those kind of things were still very new in the civilization. So people would put a lot of water and then would, have grass put up wherever he would walk, or put stones and keep cleaning it up. Or wherever he is going, there will be people behind him and in front of him walking and cleaning. But there would definitely be dust. I mean, it's India, right? Dust is going to be there. And he would come back with dirty feet. So then he had to put on a prize that I will give a prize if somebody could get a solution for my dirty feet. And then there was this young teenage kid. He came with two leather pieces and some string. And he told the king, please put your feet onto these leather pieces and tie it up. And these were the first shoes that we know about. All of us are wearing those beautiful shoes today. But that boy was the face of change of the way we live today. Yeah. So what are we doing? How are we making that change? So the journey of change and creativity is nothing but what is to what can be. How do we look at something more than what is? Let me give you all a small little example. We are women, and we know one biggest struggle that we face is finding keys in our bags, right?
Tell me about it.
So that is something which is, all of us have experienced it. Why has nobody thought of having a small little light bulb in the
purse?
Why not? As soon as you open it, the light gets on. I mean, when you open the fridge, the light gets on, right? Why not in the purse? Wouldn't that be a great change for all of us?
Absolutely.
Will that not change the way women spend time looking for keys? It's a small little thing, but that is exactly what creativity and change is all about. How can we bring up a creative solution to bring about the way we live our lives and to make a bigger change in the world around us? Okay, so what is to what can be? Look at yourself. Look at where you are currently. What is it that you would like to? I would definitely like to have a light bulb in my back. Yeah, but that is one thing that I'm talking about. Like that, we are having so many things. Do we even look at it? So, the passion to change is very important because that is what will make things happen better. Are you a changer? Do you keep constantly looking at how to do it better? There are some of us who do that, especially when we're cooking, you know. We will do something different with the recipe. We will not necessarily follow the recipe of the book. Yeah? But how can we take it beyond us, beyond our kitchen, beyond our house, beyond what we are doing to help the rest of the world? How to make that small change in the organizations that we have or the kind of community that we are a part of. And that is exactly what I'm questioning. Are you a changer? I'm not saying a change agent. I'm saying, are you the one who's making that change happen? Yeah? Because whatever we are trying to do, everything has to start from us. If I want to see something happen, now today I'm talking about that small little light bulb. But I don't have a light bulb, I still carry a torch, or now our phone has that torch. So we use that, right? But if I really want to take it forward, probably it's a business idea. It's a business idea for somebody. So there is a person in Bangalore who came up with a bag, a tote for women. I'm forgetting the name. But in that tote, he has made it in a manner where everything that a woman needs fits in beautifully. And it's a beautifully tote. And it's a business idea, selling it on Amazon also. I'm just forgetting the name. So whatever we want to do has to start from ourselves. The minute you make that change within is when the change will start happening out. Then it will go to the family, kids, people you work with, your entire household or the community that you live, and to a larger population, country, wherever you want to live. So I want you all to do this. I want you to dream. A dream that is bigger than you today. The way you are today, whoever you are today, can you dream a bigger dream about yourself? What will it take you to be your best you? And I want you all to see what have you taken for granted. What are the kind of barriers you think you have? What are the limitations that we have? And what will happen if all those things are not there? Just imagine. No barriers, no limitation, nothing like this is the way I am, this is the way I have always been. I know you're taking yourself for granted. So, I want you all to take a minute and see, is there something which is waiting to become a possibility within you? That's how you will make a change to yourself. Yeah? How to do that? List down the various uses of bricks. So how do you unleash the thing for yourself? I'm just giving you a very random brick. What are the uses of a brick? Quickly. Build a house.
Throw it on someone.
If you break the brick,
If you break the brick and use the pieces and use it on the vessels, especially the bronze, it shines better.
see, some of us do that, some of us.
Yeah. Right.
You can use it as a chalk. What else do you use a brick as? I need at least 50
Practice karate.
Build a
karate
fireplace.
chalk.
To build a fireplace.
Fireplace. Practice karate.
Paint
Okay.
on it. Paint on it. You can paint on it.
You can paint on it. Okay,
Make
let's
a
move
cricket wicket.
on. Wicket to play cricket. Oh, awesome. Yeah, we have done that.
You can use it to work out.
You can do your weightlifting. All right.
It can be used as a paperweight kind of a thing.
Paperweight. Okay.
Break it into small pieces.
Very good. Huh? What else?
We use it as a barrier.
You can
Barrier.
use it as a barrier.
Door stopper.
You can use it to color also.
Huh?
To
Colour,
color.
yeah.
You can
Powder you can
paint
use it to
color
color.
it. Okay. Come on. Yes. You can make a pavement out of it. What will you like to do with this?
It's so pretty.
You can crush it and use it as a paint, right? Awesome. How about you?
Crush it and use it in gardening.
Gardening. Fantastic. Painting.
I know.
What else?
I'm not
Sit on it. You can use it as a seat.
Bookshelf partition.
Bookshelf partition. Yeah, they make stove out of it. Awesome. Come on, think more. Self-protection. I'm sure you know something. Self-protection.
I would like to introduce.
Yes, tell me. Okay, think and tell me. What else? If we can think of so many uses of a brick. Yeah, so good. What about you? When are you going to think about yourself? When?
right now.
What's the guarantee? How long are we here on this planet? When are we going to think about ourselves? We can think about a break in the last 5 minutes, 50, 60 creative things. How about looking at that creativity within? How about bringing that out? Do it now. What's the time? Okay. Then you see what else can we do creatively, right? And how do we bring out the creativity within ourselves? What is creativity? It's just nothing developing new ideas which you did with the brick. Okay? Looking at some uncommon things, you all came up with some uncommon stuff about brick and unique ideas. Just a little quiz here. A man is driving a black car on a blackened road without street lights and without headlights on his car. A black cat crosses the road right in front of his car and still he is able to apply brakes to save the cat. How?
Daylight.
Exactly! Beautiful, because it's a daylight. Nowhere it is written that it is night. Correct? But if you do not look at the basic assumption, you will keep wondering how. So always question the basic assumption that you're taking. Challenge the assumptions. The way it has been written, it is written to confuse you, right? Black and dark, and the cat is also black, and there are no street lights. Big deal, how does it matter? Because it's daylight. So just see what happened to you. You have to shift the way you think to be able to get the right answer. We have it in us. Women are the most creative people on this planet. Are we using it the best way that we can? And if not, let's do it. Another, creativity, where can you solve? We all face a lot of problems. I'm taking you back more than a century back. Okay? 1912 US presidential election campaign. So that there is a problem that had happened. 3 million posters were printed of $3 each. Okay? And once the posters were ready, they realized that the photographer's name is there on the poster. And the photographer could Sue them for $1 each poster. Huge amount of money. What should the campaign manager do? Think. 3 million posters. How are you going to cut off? Huh?
No, ask him to pay for the advertisement. His name is getting advertised.
Make it by the
Ah.
let him cut off. Huh?
Get to buy the site.
Get him by the side.
No, tell him that he is getting advertised and charge him.
That's exactly what they did.
Yeah.
You know, what they said is, we are using your name. How much are you going to pay for it? And he ended up paying $250.
Yes.
$1 million or whatever for that particular poster. Because the whole problem got twisted.
Reversed.
Right? Now, look at the way you are handling currently. Some problems we do this, but big ones we get stuck in it.
I understand. Yeah, you explained this what happened. The poster is not printed. Somebody's name, somebody else.
The photographer's name is in that, whoever did. So obviously he's going to sue them because his names are not for him, right? So what they did, the campaign manager did, is he told the photographer, hey, we are giving you advertisement of 3 million posters across US. How much will you pay? So the problem got reversed. Otherwise, they would have to pay him.
For
But
every
here
poster.
he paid them back. Yeah. So it is always looking at it from a different angle. How are you reversing it? That's one way of looking at it creatively. Another challenge. How do you shift the problem statement? Now, all of us were there in the 70s and the 80s and some of us in 60s. The need was banks should be open 24/7. Now, keeping banks open 24/7 not possible. Huge cost, manpower, logistics, a lot of things. But that was the need. How will you change the problem statement? Banking in 60s, 70s. How did you change the problem statement? Change the problem statement now.
Problem statement. Bank should be open 24/7.
We should be able to access the bank.
You should be able to access the
My
bank,
money or my
should
transactions.
should you have cash when you want it? What is the problem statement?
Ah. Have cash when you want it.
Why do you want the bank to be open 24/7? I don't want the bank to be open 24/7 if I get the cash when I want it, right? So you shift the problem statement. When you shift the problem statement, the solution is an ATM. But if you keep looking at how to keep the banks open 24/7, then the solution would be different, not possible, not feasible, or whatever. So you break down why do you want the bank to be open 24/7. So when you do the why of it, you are able to get a how to do it, the solution part of it, right? Similarly, in an old building of 15 floors in Delhi, the lift took a lot of time and people started getting frustrated and angry. This was the situation. What will you do? So with an insight, but the lift itself is taking time to come down.
Tell them going up the stairs
So
is
change the
healthy.
problem statement again. Change the problem statement. What is the problem here?
Lift is taking time.
People getting frustrated and angry because of the waiting time. How can you avoid them getting frustrated and angry, even if the waiting time is still there? Music, put a TV, put some screen out there. That's what they did actually. That's exactly what they did. They put a TV out there with some programs running on there. So they got distracted. So the problem is, if I'm waiting and I have nothing to do, I'm getting bored, I'm getting angry, and I'm getting frustrated. So give me something to do here. You change the problem statement. Yeah? So if we do these kind of things, we are able to bring out some change in the way we think and approach, right? But if we have to make it happen, if you want to make it to a large, if you want to make it happen for your kids or your teens at your organization, in the family, in the community that you are in, how will you make that change happen? So you will tell them, yes, think of a problem, change it, reverse the statement, think of a different problem statement. But after that, what? Because to make any creative solution sustainable and get a process of change, you need your head, which is thinking what to do, your heart, which is feeling, and then you need your hands, right, to make it happen. Correct? So, to make change happen, you need to connect all the three edges: the head, the heart, and the hands. Okay. What triggers a creativity? Why do we want to do a creativity? Why do we want to think differently?
नाव का इंतजार मुझे गवारा न था, मुझे मेरे प्यार से मिलना ही था। मेरी बेकरारी ने मुझे आविष्कारी बना दिया। पर प्यार को भी आविष्कार का सहारा लेना ही पड़ता। आविष्कार ही मेरी नूर का नूर है, नई खोज ही मेरी जिंदगी का नूर। हमारी टेक्नोलॉजी
Sweetheart was on the other side of the lake. If anybody has gone to Bhopal, you know there are two big lakes out there in that city. So this lady used to stay there and he couldn't wait for the boat to come. So what worked for him was the
Need.
heart.
Heart, okay.
Just Valentine's is yesterday.
Over, no. Valentine's is over.
So the heart drove him to, or the heart triggered him to become an innovator or creative solution. And actually this man is there, and I showed you, it's on Discovery. So this guy had a feature on Discovery, and this man is there, now old, but he still goes on his invented cycle across the lake. Amazing. So creativity starts when we care. Care is the key word. I mean, it doesn't matter to us, we spend another 3-4 minutes searching for the key. It is okay, right? We don't care for that 3-4 minutes. That's why nobody has got the solution yet. Okay? But when we care is when we become creative. And when we become creative, we find ways and means to find a solution. And then the change happens. Okay? So, when we care about ourselves, then you will find creative ways of making new recipes and something with your health, your workout, right? When you care about your work is when you become creative. How better to do it? What else can you do? When you are caring for your customers is when you bring out the solutions for them. How can you creatively connect with them? How can you make them happy? How can you bring about a change for their betterment? That's because you care for your customers. Similarly, for success of your organization, your products, it has to start with the care. If you don't care, no creativity can happen, no change can happen. With creativity, vulnerability also has to play a big part of it. Because you're trying to do something very different. something which is not there. So you have to be able to be vulnerable and still have the courage to go ahead. So it is both the things together which will work. But vulnerability will lead you to be more creative, make that change happen, and the courage to make that change happen. Yeah? So there are ways and qualities of a creative mind, but I just want to talk about two of them. Possibility thinking. Are you a possibilitarian? Can you make things happen? Do you see the possibility in something? And do you have the imagination? Trust me, women have both. But are we leveraging it? Are we using it? When you do, things change around you. Yeah? This question, this particular statement, actually has changed my life. What else is possible? What else is possible, Shalini? What else is possible? In terms of my health, in terms of my finances, in terms of my work that I do. In fact, as I walked in, Anup and we were having a conversation about a book that both of us happen to have read. The book name is Die Empty. And one part of it, how many of you read it? Anybody's read it? So one part of the book really touched me. It just asks a simple question. Where is the maximum knowledge and wisdom of the world? Where is it available? Cemetery, right? Because everybody who's dying is taking away so much of what they have learned from this planet, from their life, and for years, thousands and thousands of years. So the maximum knowledge is there. What is possible for us to do? The possibility that we have, and that I want to do is, whatever I have got, the day I die empty, I give it back to it. I leave it here. Because what am I going to do with it? Taking it away. That changed my life. What else is possible? That's the possibility that I look for. Where do I find ways to give it to whoever needs? I don't know. Take it. Because I have spent so many years on this planet. From my childhood, I'm sure there's so many things I've learned. I don't know if it's relevant to you, but I feel I want to steal it. Whoever wants to take it, take it. Whoever doesn't want to take it, leave it. That is a possibility. What else is possible? Within yourself, look at what else is possible. What else is possible for you to do? How can you be more creative and bring about a change within you and around you? Okay, giving you another. This is a Roman number 9. Can you convert it to 6 by adding one more line? Yes.
S. Curved line
Yes,
S.
correct. Now, the way we are looking at it is, because I said Roman number 9, so we are looking at 9. But can you look at it as an alphabet? So it is I and X. Why don't you? You are looking very confused. It's an I and X. And I said, adding one more line. A curve is also a line, right? So it can be a S. So then you become a 6. You just put an S-I-X and it's a 6. What happened? What did we do? You just thought differently, right? You did not get stuck in the Roman number 9. You also looked at it as an alphabet. Okay? One more. There is this man, okay? He was working in a very tall office building. So every day morning, he would get into the lift at the ground floor and go up to the 10th floor. From 10th floor, he would walk out and climb 5 floors. At night, he would get into the lift and go down straight to the ground floor and leave. Next day morning, he would do the same thing every day. Why was he doing this? Exactly. Again, what would you think? We're all thinking somewhere, right? But this guy was a dwarf guy. His fingers wouldn't reach 15. It would only reach 10. Different thinking. Right? So, there is nothing right in this world. There is nothing wrong in this world. It is all the way we think. Remember the phones all of you are using a phone? How many of you are using QWERTY phones? QWERTY, you know? So how many of us are using? All of us using QWERTY phones, right? Yes? Now, this is also a QWERTY phone, this is also a QWERTY phone. But what is the difference here? The screen size. The problem was the screen size in this kind of phone was small. What iPhone did, Apple did, kept the QWERTY, increased the screen size and gave us just one button to operate the phone. Correct? Challenge the basic assumption. You need QWERTY, but do you need QWERTY there on the phone, or is there a better way of doing it? Today all of us use those kind of phones, right? One button phones. Where did it come from? Where did the idea come from? Somebody had a problem statement that I do not want my screen size to be so small. Give me a full screen. Today too, if they can give you, the phone will be this much, the screen will be this much. Right? Why are you laughing?
I was just thinking, who might have done something like this, right? The Eureka movement or something like that. शायद किसी ने डेस्क के अंदर कॉलेज में मैसेज किया होगा, वो करेक्ट मैसेज नहीं किया होगा. I didn't realize they should have done something like this.
This idea actually is Steve Jobs. Okay, so you keep challenging the assumptions, then you will become more creative, then you will have better solutions. Okay? How to be more creative in your daily life? Do things differently. There is a way that you go to your work, change the route. Do something different. Okay? Change something every day. Watch a movie of a language you don't understand. Watch a movie that you don't like. If you don't like horror, watch a horror movie. Do something different. You will see the brain operates in a pattern. There is a pattern, a pathway within our brains. That's why if something happens, we will do it in the same manner. Correct?
And if you do it differently, the different pathways are created.
Exactly. The more you exercise your brains by doing things differently, you create different pathways. When you create different pathways, you become more creative. When you become more creative, you influence more change. Learn something new. Look for continuous improvement. Change the recipe of your favorite dish. You like it in a particular manner, right? The chola has to be like this only. And you will, it's a sacrosanct recipe. You will not change it, correct? You will not make it if one part of the recipe is missing. Because it has to be like that. Change it. Create a new pathway. Become more creative. And influence a change. You never know what can come out of it. So the way you do things can change if you do things creatively. Yeah? So anything, questions?
I'm really sorry to interrupt, but I think we can take questions offline.
Then
Sorry about
thank
it
you.
because thank you so much, Shalini, and it was a wonderful. Let's have a please round of applause for Shalini. Thank you so much. Thank you.
So I will call upon Shikha and Nandita